Hey guys, Jason Bleu here with Realistic Tutorials, and today I want to go through taking a look at the air intake in my car. And the air intake is kind of dirty. It's only about a year and a half old, but still it's dirty. It's not looking that great, and I'm having some problems with my car at idle. It's like stumbling up and down, jumping up, almost like the AC's on, but it's not. So I'm not sure what's the cause of that. I've taken a look at the spark plugs, replaced them, stuff like that. I'm hoping that this dirty air filter will help clear that up a little bit, just so that I can get the best kind of performance from my car. So let's take a look at that. We're going to see how to get that done. That way you can take a look, see how it's done, and do it on your car. Alright, so this job is going to consist of just a couple things. We've got some clamps here that we're going to have to take off. We've got a sensor that we're going to have to take care of, just pull out basically. Make sure we don't damage anything. None of the electrical connections separate or anything like that at the back of the sensor. Once we take care of all that, it's just plopping off the filter, getting the new one, putting it on, and then we're pretty much ready to go. Tighten it all up, make sure it's all good, make sure we plug back in the sensor. Otherwise our car's not even going to run. And from there, we're home free. So this should be like 10-15 minutes, Alright, so we tried the wrench. It's a tad big for this operation. So again, like we said, we want to use proper tools. So I got my trusty screwdriver here, and, just go in here. That's pretty much it, Again, it's much easier when you record if you've already pre-loosened everything. That way you don't look like an idiot. So, now this one I forgot to pre-loosen, so we're just going to do this on camera. We're going to see how this goes. And look at that, okay, now it's slipping out of here. So this is not really the proper size. So, instead of getting my proper size screwdriver, see, it worked for this one, but this one's a different size. But instead of getting the proper one of the trunk of my car, I'm just going to be lazy here again and use this improper tool. And it really won't damage anything, but what it's going to do is going to make me incredibly frustrated with my work. Because it's going to keep on slipping out of the head, and it's just going to make it difficult. And this is usually at the course, like usually the first thing goes right, but then things start to go wrong, and it's usually because of your own stupidity. But we'll edit that out later. It's incredibly distracting, ice cream. So I've already pre-selected the bit. So again, this is a pointer for people that want to make car videos. Edit out the parts where you're looking like an idiot, pulling out one bit and trying it, and it doesn't work. It's a little bit too big. Then you pull out the next one, and it's like way too small. And then you pull out the next one, and it's like an 18mm, and you're like, how did I ever think that would work? But anyway, we're gonna edit all of that out, and we're just gonna do the moment where I'm like, let's start it over. Like, okay, guys, we want to, select our ratchet bit, and looks about an 8mm. And it is perfect fit. Okay, so we've loosened this clamp and we've loosened this clamp, and tell you the truth, neither of those really apply to the filter. So at this point, I'm not really sure why I did it, but we're gonna go with the fact that I want to check the inside of the intake to make sure that it's not dirty. Now, I don't have anything to clean it with, but I'm gonna say that on camera so that I don't look like the 15 minutes that I spent recording this stuff. I look like an idiot, because why did I take that off when I only had to take one off? The thought is that this clamp now is what it's all about. And I happen to notice that on this shot, you actually can't see the clamp. You can't see it because the filter's blocking it, but it's a really cool shot because I have some nice depth of field over here. So we're just gonna go ahead and film the shot like this, even though you can't see anything I'm doing, just because it looks cool and it's a different angle, and hopefully it'll keep you guys interested. So let's go ahead and take this clamp off that you can't see, but I promise that it's there, all right? I find that like these tabs and stuff, I never really understand how they work because every single one is different. So what ends up happening is I just kind of like press what looks like it should be moving and just kind of yank and pull on it. And sometimes I even kind of pull on the wires because you get a better grip. I mean, of course, there's the likelihood that it'll rip it out of the sensor. But, again, yeah, I don't really have a response to that. But, all right. So now that I've finally gotten it loose, what we'll have to do is we'll have to you know, do some type of scene like this. Like, okay, all right, let's start it over. Okay, guys, I've taken off my clamp here, my clamp here, my clamp here. They're all attached, but before we go any further, we want to make sure that we remove. Hang on. We want to remove this sensor so that we don't damage it. Okay. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to forget that. You're going to take this off. You're going to hurt the wires. You're going to crimp them by moving the piece around. We want to avoid that. So I'm just telling you now so you don't forget. Let's take this sensor. It's a priority. We don't want to damage it. All right? You just press this tab, and then don't pull by the wires, okay? Because you don't want to rip them out. Just press this tab, and just give it a little wiggle, and it comes right out. It's very easy. You know, don't struggle with it. All the tabs are always the same. You always press the tab, and you just pull. Okay, so if you're struggling with it, you're probably doing something wrong. Either that or I don't know. But anyway, so now we removed our sensor, our clamps. We're just gonna take this out, and it comes off as one piece. Very easy. Now we can take it out of the car and we can work on it. Again, this is, now that we've taken the clamp off, this should be fairly easy. And I'll go to editing all of this out, where you simply see me go like, you know, like pop it out, and it'll be very easy. You know, so all this, which actually is, none of it is in focus, all this will have to be edited out, you know. I really need better, wow, is that my filter coming apart? What the heck? You can see, like, I was just pulling on the filter, and the filter is completely disintegrating. So what's good to know is that this semi-expensive filter that's supposed to have a lifetime guarantee is completely disintegrating just as I'm moving it. All this like crushed blue particle stuff, paper, was probably shot through my engine for the last, I don't know, a couple thousand miles. Let me just wait as this ridiculously sized truck passes by. It's always good to film on the street, that way lots of cars pass by and you could barely hear the instructions in the instructional video, because the whole purpose of the video is to be giving instructions, and it's best if you do it in a situation where it's very difficult to hear those instructions. That just goes to show you what a year and a half can do, and how that's possible in a year and a half, I really don't know. But I'm unconcerned with that, because for right now, it's going to look cool in my car. Until about a month when the metal starts to rust and this starts to flake off inside my engine bay again. So just leave the sensor aside for now. That'll be the last thing. And what'll probably happen is we'll reassemble everything and we'll forget to put the sensor in. And we'll go to start the car and it won't start, or it'll die out immediately. And then we'll seem like idiots. So, look at that. Grotesquely too large. Look at that. Look at that. It goes right through. I mean, what is the point of that as an adapter? I mean, I guess you're supposed to put it here and then what? Tighten this so that it's tight? Yeah, actually, I guess that would work. Yeah, I guess, alright, I'm an idiot. Yo, I don't get that. Well, now what am I supposed to do? I took the old filter out. It's a piece of garbage. Now I can't put in this one. I don't have the proper tools. I don't have the proper attachment. I bought the attachment, but it doesn't fit. I'm, like, puzzled. Just try to force it. I mean, that's a big keg. You know, like, why is there such a difference between this size and that size? Oh, there we go. I could stretch it on. Now we're talking. You just snap it on, and there you go. Let me do that realistically. All right. So what you do is you just take your adapter, you kind of force it on here, and then you're good to go. Now you've got the right size. This filter will slide right on with some force. This was the adapter for this filter. I don't understand. Now it doesn't fit. I mean, seriously? Oh, you know what? Maybe if I take it halfway off. It'll be a little bit smaller. Won't be as pushed out. Yeah, here we go. There it is. See? Look. Simple. Alright, now cut to professional take. Alright? Professional take in 5, 4, 3, 2, you got it. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we've put our adapter on. just fit it on there so it's nice and snug. And before we press it down, we want to get our filter on there so that it doesn't get stuck. Because what's going to happen is these have a tendency, when you push them on and you get them, you know, in their final resting spot, they're bulged out a little bit, so it won't fit in the filter. So what we're gonna do is we got it here. It's on, but it's not fully pushed in. We're gonna take our filter, we're gonna position it on, and then we're just gonna nice and easy, so that we don't break anything, just press it on, and it's gonna fit perfect. So let's take a look at that now. You give it a couple taps, you know, just be gentle. And look at that, fits like a glove. So speaking of gloves, I thought this would be a good time to remind everyone that if you want to keep your hands free from, it would be helpful if I put it on the right way. If you want to, we'll edit that out later. Now I lost my train of thought. All right, so it would be helpful to keep your hands free from dirt, you know, because it's annoying. When you work on your car, there's always grease, there's always dirt, and you're always going to get that on your hands because you're touching your car, you know, especially your engine bay. So, you know, putting on gloves, for the longest time, I never did it as a, you know, hobby mechanic or whatever you want to call me. I never did it, and then, you know, I just started to learn it was so annoying. You know, you fix this, you walk inside, anything you touch is greasy, this and that, where, you know, if you have the glove, you put the glove on, you work like a gentleman. You know, I almost feel like a dentist instead of a mechanic. You work on what you have to, and then when you're done, nice Subaru. You work on what you have to, and then when you're done, you just kind of take the glove off, and your hands are pristine clean. So, let's take a moment to do that now. You know, I'd say we're about 95% through this procedure. And I'd say probably right now the total elapsed time is maybe like an hour and 15 minutes. So this should be about a 15-minute job, you know. And of course I'll edit the video so it's about like a 2 to 3 minute job, so you guys really think that I sincerely know what I'm doing. But in reality, I'd say about an hour and 15, something like that. All right, now again, I've tightened this up where I'm pretty confident there's no air leaks, and air leaks don't even really matter at this spot because it's before the sensor. So even if it leaks in or out air, everything will be metered accurately. But again, like I said, I like to go overkill on the tightening simply because there's really no good explanation for it. But I'm gonna do that. Of course, I knew it. Now, let me actually plug in the sensor. That's why my car started installed, you know, which I'm sure was healthy for the engine. All right, take two. Again, another problem solved, you know, in the course of a couple minutes. So let's take it around the block.